Hello everyone, this is Sportimus here, and this is a video review of the Transformers Generations Thrust action figure. As you can see, he is a slight retool of the previous Classics Ramjet figure, where he has the same kind of body that Ramjet does, except they modified his wings slightly for a different kind of look. Thrust has almost always been one of my favorite Seekers from Generation 1, and it's a very pleasant surprise to see him finally released in retail form, as he was originally released only as a BotCon figure, and then later on as only a Henkei limited edition figure, which was considerably more expensive than this generation's Thrust. So I can't stress enough how excited I am to finally have this in my hands, as well as just how close he looks to the original Generation 1 Thrust, both in colors and in overall design. Now he comes packaged with his engine nacelles attached to the bottom of his smaller wings, which I really don't care for at all. They seem far too large and far too out of place to be stuck on such a small section of the plane. Fortunately, they are designed so that they can be removed and placed either on the bottom or on the top of the main wings. Having him on his wings gives him the definitive G1 look, which is exactly what I prefer. If you have Starscream, or better yet, Ramjet from the Classics line, then the transformation of this guy should be very, very familiar to you. Basically, for me, I like to start off with his landing gears, because I usually forget these. So in order to avoid that, I'm going to close these up right now. Then I'm going to start with his legs. I'm going to pull him down, form the feet as I pull them apart. Now my figure, everything is really stiff, except for this part right here. But it's not that bad. Next part, I'm going to do his wings here. I'm going to spin them around. Remove the null rays. There we go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take his nose area and I'm going to lift it up and pull it away from his lower body. Fold out the arms. The head is going to be formed by bending this out, pulling it up and out, twisting it around like so, and then you take his nose cone like Ramjet and you turn it around 180, and then you're going to collapse everything into his chest and torso area, and you're going to close everything up. You're going to form his fists by unfolding them. I like to give them a little bit of a bend on his elbows. And last but not least, I like to put the null rays on his shoulders. And here you have him, Thrust in his robot mode. Now the Seeker molds from the Classics and Universe and now into the Generations line, they're not perfect, but they're really good. I wish the landing gear was not located on his fan jets, but rather on the nose cone where it should be. But in order to do that, they'd have to make the figure a little bit larger and change the transformation in order to accommodate that. Otherwise, this is a really, really nice figure. This is one of the nicest Transformers you can possibly buy from those three lines. And I forgot to include Henkei as well. His articulation is just like that of all of the other Seekers, where his legs can go forward and back. They bend at the knee. They rotate very well at the knee. Mine buckles up a little bit because his joints are fortunately very stiff, which I like. The foot can move up and down per his transformation. Legs can go in and out. He can do the splits very well. He's got some wiggle movement on his waist there. No waist movement as far as 360, but he has some movement here. His shoulders, the null rays get in the way, but if you remove the null rays, he has a lot wider range of movement, but it's still very good. He can go up, down. The wings do flex for him to be posed in different positions. He can definitely bend at the elbow, and there's no twist at the elbow or anything like that, but he can do that with his fist per his transformation, so not too bad. His head can move left and right, all the way around actually, but that again is part of his transformation. So it isn't outstanding in articulation, but you can get some very, very good poses out of him, despite some of the limitations that he has. But aesthetically, this is one of the nicest, if not the nicest, thrust mold you can get. And here is Generations Thrust with his partner from Classics line, Ramjet. As you can see, he goes very well with his fellow Coneheads. And I can't wait to get the last one from the three, which is Dirge. And last but not least, here's a comparison with the original Transformers Thrust. Now I must admit, I am very partial to the Seeker molds from the Classics, Universe, Henkei, and now the Generations line, so it's obvious that I'm going to say that I highly recommend this figure. I've always liked Thrust, both as in his toy form and the character form, from when he was in the original Transformers cartoon. He is easily one of the coolest characters you can get, even though he's a bit of a coward. He's still a fun guy, he looks great, his colors are outstanding. I love the maroon, the dark gray, the white, all play out together. Makes him an outstandingly good looking figure, as well as very fun to play with. I can't put this guy down. So if you like the Seekers, if you like Jets, if you like Thrust, this is definitely a worthy addition. This is Sportimus saying thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Later!